What is the constitutionalism? One needs to know the constitutionalism and constitutional law before the understanding the philosophy of constitution in India. Having a constitution itself is not a constitutionalism. Even a dictator could create a rule book calling it constitutional, which never meant that such as a dictator had any faith in constitutionalism. Recognize the need of governance, and constitutionalism equally emphasizes the necessity of restricting those powers. The constitutional law means the rule which regulates the structure of the principal organ of the government and their relationship to each other and determines their principal functions. The rule consists both of the legal rules enacted or accepted as binding by all who are concerned in government. All the constitutions are the heirs of the past as well as the testators of the future. Constitution of Indian Republic is not a product of a political revolution but of the research and deliberates of the body of eminent representatives of the people who sought improvement existing system of administration. Thus, the Constitution is a brief, specific limitation or general governmental power to prevent exercise of arbitrary decision making. Unlimited powers concentrated in a few hands of whom the affairs and their exercise could jeopardize the freedom of the people. These powers have the check and balances with the equally powerful alternatives in a system where it will be nearly impossible for dictators to emerge. It won't be limited governance in the constitution, which is the support to reflect constitutional law of a democratic state. Constitution of India or is the constitutional law incorporated the constitutionalism. The listed fundamental rights and guaranteed remedies creation the judiciary as an impartial arbiter with all independent powers and besides broad-based legislative check on the executive are the reflection of such constitutionalism. From these essential characters are the doctrines of the judicial review, rule of law, separation of power, universal franchise, transparent executive, fundamental rights of equality and quality of life emerged and consolidated. At the same time, the rule book has the responsibility to check an anarchy and possibility of people misusing freedom to resort the violent means of overturning and the constitutionally govern the institution. That is the responsibility, the undercurrent the in the reasonable restrictions placed on the exercise of the fundamental rights of people. The founding fathers of the constitution made the restrictions specific while the right appear the general terms, paving a way of independent judiciary to expand the scope of freedom and the reading emerging right into the scared statement of right under the fundamental rights chapter. At the same time, specification of restrictions operate as powerful restraint on the power of rulers. The right as the individual power in the hands of people and the authority as the ruling power in the hands of institution cannot be go arbitrary and anarchic, undermining the democratic base. The democratic constitution is the three pronounced in Indian constitution. One, guaranteed freedom. Two, a sustaining governing institute. Three, empowering independent arbiter of judiciary with power to review executive and legislative order affecting the interest of people in general or affecting affecting basic norms of rule of law.